Hey there, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a chatbot application that allows you to upload a document and chat with its content from scratch using Python. One of the most interesting use cases for AI is the chat with document application, which enables users to interact with a document using conversational queries. By simply asking questions, you can quickly find relevant information, summarize content, and gain insights without having to read and sort through pages of text. Let me show you the end result first. So here we have a document containing a fictional story discussing the impact of AI on humanity. The story took place in a cafe in Paris between a computer science professor and a student. In the web application we're going to build, we can upload a document to the app like this. Then we submit the document and wait for the app to process it. Once it's ready, you can ask questions relevant to the uploaded document. So for example, where did the discussion take place? As we can see, the chatbot is able to give the right answer. Now we can also ask a follow-up question regarding the document, so let's ask, what was the discussion about? As we can see, the chatbot is able to give a brief summary about the discussion. Under the hood, this Chat with Document app uses the Retrieval Augmented Generation, or usually known as RAG, which is a technique for improving the accuracy of large language models with information retrieved from an external source. If you're not familiar with RAG, then don't worry, as I will explain it in this video as well. Let's dive in. To build this application, we are going to use the LangChain and Streamlit Python libraries. LangChain is a programming library created to help developers build applications powered by large language models. It contains components that you can use to create prompt templates, parse the output in a specific format, and handle the Python integration with your LLM of choice. Streamlit, on the other hand, is a Python library for creating interactive web applications from Python scripts. This library is perfect for showcasing data science models, dashboards, or tools. Together, these libraries enable the development of web applications that allow users to upload documents, process their contents with LLMs via LangChain, and interact with the data conversationally in a simple interface provided by Streamlit. Here is an illustration of the process required to create a chat with document application. You first need to split a single document into chunks so that the document can be processed and indexed effectively. The chunks are then converted into vector embeddings. Vector embeddings are arrays of numbers that represent different types of data, such as text, images, or audio. The embeddings encode the key characteristics of the data into a structured numerical format. This transformation makes it easier for machines to analyze and process the information effectively. The vector embeddings of the document are then stored in a vector database. There are many vector databases available, but for this tutorial, we're going to use ChromaDB, which is an open-source vector database that's free to use. When you give a question or a prompt, LangChain will convert the prompt into vectors and then pass the prompt vector into the database. The database will perform a search and return relevant document vectors to LangChain. Finally, LangChain then sends the user prompt and relevant document vectors to the LLM, which processes the prompt and generates a relevant response. And this is Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, in a nutshell. It is the process of sending relevant information to a large language model to augment its knowledge, enabling the LLM to gain new knowledge that's unavailable in its training data. By adding Streamlit on top of this process, you can create an application that allows you to upload a document and ask questions relevant to the content of that document. Now that we know what we're going to build, it's time to prepare the computer for building this app. A quick announcement before we get into environment setup. I want to let you know that I have a free email course called Mindset of the Successful Software Developer. This course is a free 7-day email course. Each email unveils a slice of wisdom that I have gained after working in the tech industry for over 9 years. It offers a fresh perspective on what it means to be a happy and successful software developer in a changing world. If you are serious about being a software developer, I believe this resource will be a great help for you. You can enroll in the course using the link in the description. Alright, it's time to set up your computer to develop the Chat with Doc app. You need to have Python 3 installed on your computer to follow along this tutorial. So if you haven't got one installed, you can go to python.org to grab a copy. I'm also going to use VS Code for this tutorial, and if you don't have one already, you can download a copy at its website. Now let's create a folder to store all files related to this project. You can name this folder anything you want. Next, open the VS Code application, then drag and drop the project folder into it. This will open the folder in VS Code. The next step is to put the starting source code to this project folder. So open the GitHub link for the starter code in the video description and download it to your computer. Now you need to extract the source code, then copy that source code into VS Code. Let's rename the folder as source. Now let me explain the starting source code so that you understand what they are used for. First, the requirements.txt file contains a list of several Python packages required for this project. The LangChain package contains the classes and functions to streamline interaction with the large language model. The LangChain community package contains LangChain integrations with other Python modules, such as the text file loader. The LangChain OpenAI library contains the LangChain integrations for OpenAI API. The decouple library is used to load environment variables to the app. Streamlit is used to create the graphical interface of the app. The ChromaDB package contains the vector database we're going to use for storing and querying vector embeddings. And finally, the PyPDF and doc2txt packages are used to read PDF and docx files respectively. In the data folder, there are two documents that will be used to test the application we're going to build. The AI discussion.txt file contains a fictional story that discusses the impact of AI on humanity. On the other hand, the IELTS assessment PDF file contains the IELTS writing test assessment criteria. The .env.sample file contains the environment variables required for this project. I will show you how to use this file later. Now that we have explored the starting source code, let's install the packages required by the project. To install the packages, you need to create a Python virtual environment first. Right-click anywhere in the Explorer window, then select Open in Integrated Terminal. This will open the terminal right in our project folder. Create a virtual environment by using the following command. With the virtual environment created, activate the virtual environment by running the source command like this. Next, change the active working directory of the terminal to the source folder. Then run the pip install command. Pip will install the required dependencies listed in the requirements.txt file. It might take a while until the installation is completed, so while you're waiting, let's get the OpenAI API key. To use OpenAI's API, you need to register an account on their website. After you sign up for an account, you need to add credit balance for API usage, so go to the billing menu to add some credits. OpenAI receives payment using credit cards, so you need to have one. The lowest amount you can buy is $5, and it will be more than enough to run all the examples in this tutorial. After adding some credits, you can go to the API keys menu to create a new secret API key. Here, input the name and select the project the key will belong to. Click the Create Secret Key button and OpenAI will show you the generated key. You need to copy and paste this API key into your project. First, rename the .env.sample file into .env. Then paste the OpenAI API key into the variable. Now you're good to go. With the dependencies installed and OpenAI API key ready, we can continue to build the core functionality of the app. Let's create a new Python file named rack_prom.py, then import the packages required for the chat with document application. The config class from decouple is used to load the environment variables to the file. The chat OpenAI class is used for interacting with the OpenAI API, while the OpenAI embeddings class is used to access the OpenAI embedding model. The chat prompt template class is used to format the prompt using a custom template. The text loader class is used to load a text file, while recursive character text splitter is used to split a text into small chunks so that it can be processed more efficiently. The chroma class is used to create a vector database. The createRetrieval chain retrieves a document and passes it to the createStuffDocuments chain, which passes the document to the LLM. Now this might be a little bit confusing, but don't worry, as I will show you how to use them in just a while. With the packages imported, you can define the LLM first like this. The chat OpenAI class allows you to interact with OpenAI API using Python. Here, we pass the model and API key we want to use for the interaction. Next, use the text loader class to load the document. Then create the text splitter object that you're going to use to split the document into chunks. To convert the document chunks into vectors, you need to use an embedding model. OpenAI provides an API endpoint to turn documents into vectors, and the LangChain OpenAI embeddings class allows you to use that API endpoint. Next, the chroma.fromDocuments method sends the document chunks into OpenAI embedding model, then store the embeddings data to the chroma database. After that, you need to call the asRetriever method to create a retriever object, which accepts the user input and returns relevant chunks of the document. Next, you need to create the prompt to send to the LLM as follows. With the prompt created, you need to create a chain by calling the createStuffDocuments chain function and pass the LLM and prompt objects like this. The question-answer chain will handle filling the prompt template and sending the prompt to the LLM. Next, pass the question-answer chain to the createRetrieval chain function. This LangChain object will pass the user input to the retriever object, which returns a relevant part of the document embeddings to the chain. The relevant part of the document and the input are then passed to the question-answer chain, which sends both user input and relevant embeddings to the LLM to get the result. Now you can ask for user input, then run the chain using the invoke method with that input. When the LLM returns the answer, you print the answer to the command line. Alright, the application is now completed. You can run it using Python from the command line. Let's ask a question relevant to the document context. And there we go. As you can see, the LLM can answer the question by analyzing the prompt created by LangChain. With the core functionality of the application finished, we can add a web UI and chat memory to improve the application. Let's add the web UI first. Create a new empty Python file, and then paste the code from rec_prompt to this file. Import Streamlit into the application, then add the Streamlit UI below the LangChain variable initialization. Here, we import Streamlit and give it an alias of st. Then, we render a title element using st.title and a chat input element using st.chatinput. This will allow users to type their questions. When the user submits a question, it is stored in the question variable. If the question is not empty, it will be displayed as user message using st.chatMessageUser. The st.markdown is used to process the string as a markdown text. Next, the LangChain is invoked, letting LangChain sends the question to the LLM. The response is then displayed as an assistance reply using st.chatMessageAssistant and st.write. This setup creates an interactive conversational interface. You can run the application using the Streamlit run command, and Streamlit will create a web app where you can interact with the document. The next step is to add chat memory to the application. When adding a chat memory to a LangChain, you need to upgrade the retriever object by creating a history-aware retriever. This history-aware retriever is then used to contextualize your latest question by analyzing the chat history. You need to import the createHistory_aware retriever chain from LangChain, then create a history-aware retriever object as shown here. After creating the history-aware retriever object, you need to update the LangChain to use the retriever as follows. Now that you have an updated LangChain, you need to import two more classes for chat history. The Streamlit Chat Message History class allows LangChain to store chat messages in Streamlit Session State. The Streamlit Session State is a Streamlit feature used to store and share variables in a Streamlit-based application. The Runnable with Message History class creates a chain that can manage chat history. Next, you need to create the history object from the Streamlit Chat Message History and then create a conversational LangChain from the Runnable with Message History. In the Runnable with Message History function, you need to pass several parameters that defines this chain. First, there's the chain and the history object you're going to use with this chain. The input, history, and output messages key let LangChain know where to find these parameters when running the chain. To show the chat history to users, look for the message object in st.sessionState like this. As the last step, change the chain invoked when the application receives a question and add the config parameter for the session ID. Alright, now we have a nice interface for interacting with the document, and the chat history is integrated into LangChain and Streamlit. So far, we still use the invoke method to run the chain. Let's try to stream the AI answer instead. You can do this by changing the invoke method with the stream method. You also need to change the st.write method to write stream. Alright, so let's try to run this using Streamlit run again. And here we ask the same question. And we got an error. The error says that generator object is not subscriptable. To find out why this error happens, let's write stream the response object instead of the answer key. Okay, let's refresh the application. Ask the same question again. Alright, let's see what the response object is. So let's scroll up until the very top. Alright, so we can see that the response object is a dictionary with 4 keys: input, chat history, context, and answer. To make the writeStream method works, we need to convert the response dictionary into a string. You can do this by creating a new chain that picks a specific key from a dictionary. The conversational LangChain.pick method did just exactly this. Now we need to change the conversational LangChain to answer chain when calling the stream method as well. And if we refresh the web application now, and ask the same question again, and here we can see that the answer is streamed by Streamlit. Now that we can load and interact with a .txt document in LangChain, let's improve the application so we can also load other document types such as docx and PDF formats. To load different document types, you need to create a file uploader interface in Streamlit. Just below the Streamlit title, add the code for uploading the file. The st.fileUploader method creates a file uploader input. After that, the st.button method creates a button to submit the file. When the submit button is clicked, we will run the clear history method. In the clear history method, you can clear the messages stored in the session state. Below the clear history function, create a new function named processFile to process the uploaded file. This function makes use of the OS module, so let's import the module at the top of the file. Now that the OS is imported, let me explain the function a bit. First, the function will create a spinner, st.spinner, and then it will read the file you uploaded. The file will be saved on the root directory, and we will use the OS module to get the extension of the file. Inside the function, we create if conditionals to load the respective document using Python packages. The PyPDF loader uses the PyPDF package to load PDF documents. And the docx to txt loader uses the docx to txt package to load docx documents. Once the loader is created, you can load and split the document into chunks, convert the chunks into vectors, and create the chains as before. To make the conversational LangChain available outside of the function, we need to persist the object by saving it. We can save the object in the Streamlit session state. We also show a message saying that the file is uploaded and embedded successfully. When calling the chain, you can check if the conversational LangChain is available in the session state and use it. Finally, we also add an else statement to inform the user when no document has been uploaded yet. And that's it. Now you can upload a .txt, .docx, or .pdf document and ask questions relevant to the content of that document. For example, here I uploaded the IELTS writing test PDF. Submit the file, and then asked, what's the document about? And here the chatbot is able to provide a summary of that document. Let's ask a follow-up question. What's the criteria for writing test 1? And there you go. Now you learn how to create a chat with document application using LangChain, ChromaDB, OpenAI API, and Streamlit. If you have any questions, suggestions, or discussions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. I hope you learned something useful and thank you for watching.